नमस्कार, वेलकम टू द बॉटम लाइन लाइव विद मी ज्योत्सना शर्मा। आप देख रहे हैं टीवी एशिया का लाइव एंड एक्सक्लूसिव डिबेट एंड डिस्कशन शो। यहाँ हर बार हम आते हैं, हर बार किसी ना किसी विषय पर बहस करते हैं या गहन डिस्कशन करते हैं। आज फिर हाजिर हैं, फिर होगी चर्चा और बहस होगी। बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग टॉपिक है और मुझे पक्का विश्वास है कि आप इसमें हमारे साथ लगातार जुड़े रहेंगे जब तक ये शो चलेगा। लेकिन उससे पहले चलिए आपको दिखाते हैं वो खबरें जो जुड़ी रहीं हमारी कम्युनिटी के साथ पिछले हफ्ते इन द न्यूज़। Shekhar Krishnan and Felicia Singh win Democratic primary races for New York City Council. Indian-American civil rights lawyer Shekhar Krishnan has won the Democratic primary for the New York City Council seat from District 25 with 6,352 or say 53.4% votes. Another Indian-American who is Felicia Singh, who is running to represent District 32 in the New York City Council, also advanced to the November elections with 4,684 or 52.5% votes. It will be historic if both Krishnan and Singh or either of them win the New York City Council seat in the November election. This was the first news, and the second news that we have is about FedEx. FedEx pumps 100 million equity investment in Delhivery to boost India's international trade. India's homegrown logistics and supply chain services company Delhivery has announced that American global giant FedEx will make a $100 million equity investment in the company to unlock India's international trade potential. Raj Subramaniam, Indian-American President and Chief Operating Officer of FedEx Corp, said the company's strategic alliance with Delhivery will support our long-term vision to grow our Indian business and serve customers seeking to expand in or either the Indian market. Well, ये तो थी खबरें जो थी हमारी कम्युनिटी के साथ जुड़ी हुई और कहीं ना कहीं इंडिया कर रहा है प्रोग्रेस और मिल रही है एक्सटेंसिव सपोर्ट इंडिया को। और अब चलते हैं आपको लेकर के आज के टॉपिक के बारे में। जो टॉपिक है बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग है क्योंकि अभी मोदी जी ने हाल ही में किया है कैबिनेट एक्सपेंशन। मोदीज कैबिनेट एक्सपेंशन एंड द पॉलिटिकल मैथ बिहाइंड इट। इसी पे होगी बात कि क्या ये एक्सपेंशन तीसरी विन की तरफ इंडिकेशन दे रहा है हमें, तीसरी लहर, तीसरी सक्सेस, या फिर अभी बहुत सारे रोड ब्लॉक्स आने वाले हैं। लेकिन उससे पहले चलिए आपको दिखाते हैं एक इंट्रोडक्टरी वीडियो ताकि ये टॉपिक आपको थोड़ा सा और समझ आए, और उसके बाद मिलवाते हैं अपने पैनलिस्ट के साथ।
एक बहुत बड़ा कैबिनेट रीशफल हुआ है मोदी सरकार में। 36 नए मिनिस्टर्स को लाया गया है और कई बड़े मिनिस्टर्स का रेजिग्नेशन करवा दिया गया। अपने नॉन परफॉर्मिंग एसेट्स यानी नॉन परफॉर्मिंग मिनिस्टर्स को बाहर का रास्ता दिखा दिया। कई लोग एक बार फिर से इस डिसीजन को बहुत विजनरी और एक मास्टर स्ट्रोक डिसीजन बताते हैं, मोदी सरकार के पिछले कई डिसीजंस की तरह। पहले बात करते हैं फेमस रेजिग्नेशंस की। डॉक्टर हर्षवर्धन हमारे हेल्थ मिनिस्टर थे, अब इन्होंने रिजाइन कर दिया है। अगर आपको याद नहीं तो ये वही इंसान है जिन्होंने बाबा रामदेव के साथ मिलकर कोरोनिल लॉन्च करवाई थी। ऑपोजिशन लीडर्स जैसे कि कांग्रेस लीडर्स का कहना है कि अगर इनकी रेजिग्नेशन हुई है यहां पर तो इसका मतलब है कि मोदी सरकार ने अपना फेलियर एडमिट कर लिया है।
No amount of tweets by friendly handles or by your fellow ministers can hide the fact that government has failed quite badly.
As many as 43 leaders took oath as ministers in the new and revamped Union Cabinet. The expansion comes ahead of key assembly elections lined up next year.
जी हाँ, काफ़ी मैसिव एक्सपेंशन हुआ है मोदी कैबिनेट में। देखना ये है कि ये कहाँ जा रही है लहर। चलिए आज हम आपको मिलवाते हैं अपने पैनलिस्ट से सबसे पहले, और उनका विचार हम जानना चाहेंगे उसके बाद। मेरे सबसे पहले पैनलिस्ट हैं डॉक्टर भरत एच बराई। डॉक्टर बराई इज एन एमडी बाय प्रोफेशन, प्रवासी भारतीय सम्मान के अवॉर्डी हैं, एलिस आइलैंड मेडल भी जीत ले चुके हैं यहाँ पर एज एन ऑनर, एंड फेडरेशन ऑफ इंडियन एसोसिएशन के ट्रस्टी हैं शिकागो में, और फाउंडर हैं इंडियन अमेरिकन कल्चरल सेंटर शिकागो इलिनॉय से। डॉक्टर बराई, वार्म वेलकम टू यू।
थैंक यू।
और मेरे दूसरे पैनलिस्ट हैं संदीप वंगाला। संदीप जो हैं, ही इज द सीनियर वाइस प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ इंडियन ओवरसीज कांग्रेस। वार्म वेलकम टू यू संदीप।
थैंक यू।
एंड मेरे तीसरे पैनलिस्ट हैं पुण्य उपाध्याय. पुण्य इज द को-फाउंडर ऑफ हिंदूज फॉर ह्यूमन राइट्स और ये मैनेजिंग डायरेक्टर भी हैं न्यू मैक्सिको सेंटर फॉर एक्सीलेंस के. वार्म वेलकम टू यू एज वेल पुण्य.
Thank you for having me, Jyotsna.
थैंक यू सो मच. तो आप सभी जानते ही हैं कि हिंदुस्तान से हम सभी का बड़ा ही स्ट्रॉन्ग कनेक्ट है और हम सभी इंडियन अमेरिकन जो यहाँ बैठे हैं दिल हमारा हिंदुस्तान में जुड़ा हुआ है और वहाँ जो भी चेंजेस होते हैं जो भी होता है उसके लिए हम हमेशा आगे रहते हैं कि कुछ ना कुछ बात की जाए. और आज ये मोदी जी के एक्सपेंशन जो है कैबिनेट के, इसके बारे में बात होगी. मेरा पहला सवाल तो यही है जो मैं पूछना चाहूँगी कि जब मोदी जी ने ये एक्सपेंशन किया है, तीसरा एक्सपेंशन मतलब जो एक्सपेंशन हुआ है, क्या इसको नज़र में रखा जा रहा है कि ये तीसरी विन जो है इंश्योर करना चाहते हैं पक्का? और क्या आपको लगता है कि मोदी जी पक्का इस एक्सपेंशन के बाद जो भी रिस्ट्रक्चरिंग हो रही है दोबारा से बाजी मारेंगे और फिर से बीजेपी की सरकार बनेगी हिंदुस्तान में? सबसे पहले मैं संदीप आपसे बात करना चाहूँगी, आपका जवाब चाहूँगी इस पे और उसके बाद मैं डॉक्टर बराई के पास जाऊँगी.
So I don't know about Tisra win, but hope we don't get a third wave of pandemic because the way they say now the bite you played right regarding ex-health minister Harshvardhan ji, you have told like ये यही शख्स है जो who was sitting with Baba Ramdev, right? So Baba Ramdev is in good terms with the government, and government did not try to stop him when health ministry is endorsing Coronil, which is not a vaccine. In fact, Haryana, I think it's the Uttarakhand government, I guess, they went a step ahead and ordered the Coronil using public money. So this government is hand in glove with Baba Ramdev. On top of it, right? Surprising thing is that they did not sack the finance minister, who is a colossal failure, right? So after the reshuffle, you have to notice one thing: the same Baba Ramdev is given a tax break for next 5 years if he invests in research in science. Are you kidding me? So that is what this government is doing. So you cannot isolate Baba Ramdev to only Harshvardhan incident. He's hand in glove with the government, and he has the audacity to say that I have become a billionaire Baba now. From millionaire Baba 7 years back. The reason I say that is he just said Patanjali is earning 30,000 crores and he will clear off the debt. He's very confident that he will clear off the debt in next 3 to 4 years.
संदीप, सॉरी टू इंटरजेक्ट, बात हो रही है पूरी कैबिनेट एक्सपेंशन की. आप तो बाबा रामदेव पर ही अटक गए हैं अभी.
No, as your snippet was that thing, so I have to give you an overview of the colossal failure of finance ministry, because everyone expected. Before pandemic, we have a consistent drop, 8 quarters drop in GDP. वो financial ministry की failure है. So, and she thinks that अगर वो प्याज नहीं खाया तो she doesn't care about प्याज की rate. So that is the sad state we are in. I think everyone thought she would be sacked, but she's there, right there. So cabinet expansion, in a summary, in a nutshell, if I have to say, UP has got 7 ministries and Gujarat has got 6, I believe, subject to correction. But if you look at UP, right, most of the Dalit OBC vote bank was targeted. And it's the Chirag Paswan's brother, I guess. He was made a minister. And one ministry, the 40-year-old ministry, Apurvi, I guess, subject to correction, but she represents Kurbi community. So it is all poll-based. If you look at Gujarat and UP are heading to elections and they have to satisfy. And you also have to look at the equation which is going in Karnataka. A lot of Yediyurappa, Kotri is not happy with this performance and they want him to pull down. So in order to satisfy that cadre, they have made 3.
We heard you. Dr. Barai ke paas chalte hain. Dr. Barai, what do you have to say?
I think democracy, everybody has one vote. Whether he is a PhD or a doctor or a farmer who is uneducated. So any government which represents democratic values has to give representation to various sections of the community, whether they are OBC, whether they are scheduled caste, whether they are scheduled tribes, whether they are Patel or Banias or Brahmins. So in India, we forget that OBCs, they represents roughly 50 to 51% of the total population. And it is very right for Modi ji, who himself is a OBC person from Gujarat, to give appropriate representation to people of various tribes, castes, etc. Yes, Uttar Pradesh is the largest state. By the way, I want to correct you, Mr. Upadhyay. It is not Chirag Paswan's brother, it is his uncle, Mr. Paras, who was put into the cabinet. And it was Anupriya Patel, who is from Kurmi community. So 6%
I
of
didn't say
Bihar
that.
population
That is Sandeep.
represented by Paras and other people. And it's fair that they give representation to him because it was brother Ram Vilas Paswan who was in the cabinet who passed away and they wanted to give representation to that community. I think one of the important things that they have done, they have evaluated the performance of various cabinet members, consulted other members of the cabinet, and those that they found did not perform to the highest expectations, they were either asked to resign and they resigned, and they give a chance to other people based on the representation, and they're perceiving that he or she will be more efficient. Now, you mentioned about Dr. Harshvardhan. I know him personally. He was a doctor, and yes, a doctor should be preferable in the health ministry, but it is even more preferable that the person be a good administrator and a good leader. So Mr. Mansukh Mandavia, who is going to represent, he is a very able person, very efficient person, and hope that he represents efficiency in the health ministry. And we all want to see that the third wave is either prevented or kept at a very minimum. And I think it's very likely to be at a small level because of the vaccine on in India, as well as people who have developed antibodies, either as a result of COVID infection itself, both symptomatic and asymptomatic. So I think we hope that this cabinet expansion and representation of various people will be beneficial for the people of India. And the message that is given to all the ministers, either they perform or they might find the same way as 12 other cabinet ministers who had to resign.
थैंक यू डॉक्टर बड़ाई। पुण्य, जब मेरी पहले भी आपसे बात हो रही थी तो आपने कहा मैं किसी पार्टी का साथ नहीं देता हूँ, तो एक इंडिविजुअल पर्सपेक्टिव से आपका क्या सोचना है? कैबिनेट एक्सपेंशन हुआ, कुछ नए चेहरे हैं, कुछ युवा चेहरे भी हैं इसमें, तो कुछ बेटर करने की चाहत तो है डेफिनेटली गवर्नमेंट की। व्हाट इज योर थॉट प्रोसेस? वेयर इज इट लीडिंग?
So I'll say there are three thoughts that I'm interested in. Number one, on a macro strategic perspective, it's obvious that Modi ji is on the back foot. Even the right-wing press in India is saying, yaar, ye kya kar rahe hain? He has basically acknowledged a lot of failures that he has kept denying and found a few scapegoats. The second thing I will say is that I'm happy about the range of people being included in the cabinet. This is the first time we have someone from the Northeast in the cabinet. This is a big win for us. I think we're getting more caste representation, more women representation. I think for women, it's really important to look at the quality of portfolios. And therefore, although I agree with Sandeep that Minister Sitaraman has been a terrible failure, I'm glad at least she still has a reasonable portfolio. The third thing that Mr. Modi has done is he has stayed in tune with the long history of India of giving roles to criminals and crooks. So 40% plus of the people, of the new ministers have criminal cases. 24 of them have cases around violence like murder and, possible other such extreme acts of violence. And then of course, 90% of them are millionaires. The BJP is obviously learning from the Republicans. And, as long as you're rich, you've got a chance of getting a role. I think the caste thing people should be a little careful about because when you're representing yourself with 90% millionaires, you have to look at the representation idea with some skepticism. So I would say that this is it's a real problem here for India, that we're not finding people who are actually representing the grassroots, who are representing the needs of the people, and that those needs are going to be expressed and solved for. That's what we need in India for real development. Otherwise, you can keep building things all the time. Building बनाने में क्या है? वो तो you build dams, you build schools, you build toilets. Nobody can use them because you didn't talk to the people. You didn't find out what the people wanted. So, left or right, who cares? You're not helping the people.
तो इसका मतलब ये है कि चाहे कितना भी कैबिनेट एक्सपेंशन हो जाए, इस बार लोगों के तेवर अलग हैं और वोटिंग बिहेवियर डिफरेंट होगा. क्यों पुण्य?
आई थिंक लोग देख रहे हैं कि यार नंबर 1 कोविड में फेलियर हुआ है. वो 40 लाख कह रहे हैं, 400,000 people, 4 lakh. The estimates are about 1.2 to 2 million people are actually dead based on the National Health Mission strategies. This is Indian statistics, not Firangi statistics. लोग मरे हैं. लोगों के पास दहन के लिए पैसा नहीं था.
चलिए मैं इस पे खैर बात करूंगी. पुण्य हमको थोड़ा सा एक ब्रेक लेना पड़ेगा. मैं एक नए सवाल के साथ आऊंगी, उस विषय में तब बात करेंगे. वेल व्यूअर्स, वी आर गोइंग इन फॉर अ शॉर्ट ब्रेक. कहीं मत जाइएगा, हम वापस आने वाले हैं बहुत जल्द. एक छोटा सा ब्रेक. वेलकम बैक व्यूअर्स, आप मेरे साथ टीवी एशिया का लाइव इन एक्सक्लूसिव द बॉटम लाइन लाइव विद मी ज्योत्सना शर्मा देख रहे हैं. बात कर रहे हैं मोदी कैबिनेट एक्सपेंशन की एंड द पॉलिटिकल मैथ बिहाइंड इट. मेरे साथ डॉक्टर भरत बराई हैं, संदीप वंगाला हैं और पुण्य उपाध्याय हैं, जिनके साथ हम बात कर रहे हैं. बात जब पहले हुई थी तो ऑफ कोर्स रीऑर्गेनाइजेशन की बात हुई है कि क्या ये रीऑर्गेनाइजेशन तीसरी बार दोबारा से इंश्योर करेगा विन मोदी की बीजेपी गवर्नमेंट के लिए. वेल, अब मेरा दूसरा सवाल जो है हम उस पर फोकस करेंगे. बात यह है कि जो जान माल की हानि हुई कोविड के टाइम पे हिंदुस्तान में, द लॉस ऑफ लाइफ, दैट कैन नॉट बी अनडन. और कहीं ना कहीं पब्लिक में बहुत ज़्यादा रोष है जो कि कहीं ना कहीं वोटिंग बिहेवियर में दिखेगा. और ये जो है हो सकता है कि बीजेपी गवर्नमेंट को गिरा दे. लोगों का गुस्सा जो वोटिंग बिहेवियर है, इस बारे में आप सभी का क्या कहना है? पहले डॉक्टर बराई आप बोलिए, फिर मैं बाकी पैनलिस्ट के पास जाती हूँ.
Jyotsna, we all feel that this episode would not have occurred, this COVID would not have occurred, and whatever might have been the cause, how it came from China. But let us look at it, what has happened all over the world, and whether Modi ji or anybody else had a magic to prevent it or make it disappear overnight. The incidence of COVID infections in India is lower than rest of the world. The number of deaths, one can always argue how accurate it is. But if we can look at the total number of deaths that have been reported, is somewhere in the range of 400,000, and the denominator is the population of 1.35 billion. Now in USA, the death toll is 608,000 out of population of 330 million. India is the largest producer of vaccine in the world, and 26% of India's population has received at least one dose of vaccine, and they are vaccinating almost 6 million people every day, and that number will go to 10 million per day by month of August. So there is no way Narendra Modi or anybody would have been able to prevent the COVID infection. Number two, there is a behavioral problem. There are things that people can do, and then when people do not listen, they go without the mask, they mingle, they don't keep the distance, and when they get the COVID, the feeling was, 98% of the people get well anyway. So that kind of behavior, unfortunately, is prevalent even in USA. You can see today, only about 68% of US population has received one dose of the vaccine, even though it is available free of charge, available at will at this time. So when you look at the other countries, then you realize that there are only 6 countries in the world that produce the COVID vaccine. and India is one of them.
Dr. Barai, I will interject you a little bit. लोगों में ये भी गुस्सा है that Prime Minister Modi got involved into too much of international diplomacy. बजाय कि अपनी population को वो पहले vaccinate करते, उन्होंने पूरे world में vaccine देना शुरू कर दिया. और जब अपने जी,
if you look at it, in month of February and March, in India, there were only 16 to 17,000 cases per day. Everybody thought that the COVID was over. Now, if you look at it, many other such viral infections that have occurred in the past, whether it was a swine flu virus or the chicken flu virus, at that time, the episodes got over within a period of few days. So it was impossible for anybody to predict whether this pandemic would involve millions of people or it will be over very quickly like swine flu or chicken flu virus. So because of the low incidence in month of February and March, everybody got duped into believing that this is over. And at that time, the millions of vaccines were produced, they were in the excess, and yes, he tried to clear it.
Okay.
So it's like, being a 20-10 Monday morning quarterback, oh yeah, we should have done this better.
चलिए, thank you, Dr. Barai. Punya, what do you have to say?
So first off, I have to say I'm appalled that a doctor is talking like this. I mean, a doctor has a duty to the health and well-being of the people. And I agree that you are friends with the BJP and so on, but this kind of spin does your Hippocratic oath a disservice. Let us be clear. The data was very clear that the second wave was coming and people ignored it. Mr. Modi's government was given clear direction by the reputed scientists on oxygen needs, on vaccine needs, and so on, and it refused to act. It refused to act in terms of even ordering enough vaccines for the population, even though countries around the world were ordering millions of doses. Mr. Modi's government didn't do it and eventually had to pay 6 times the price that other people have paid for it. This is a place where, just like in America, when Donald Trump's bigotry met the reality of COVID, the bigotry collapsed. So Mr. Modi's storytelling, which he's very good at, failed when the reality of COVID hit it. And making excuses for his abject failure or firing his poor health minister who was only taking Mr. Modi's orders is a joke. The new minister coming in will probably get fired because, when you play chess, you can always move a piada, right? A pawn, black, white, orange, who cares? Nobody cares who the pawn is. We know who the director is. And the director failed. And that failure is something that the Indians recognize. And you've seen that in the drop in his popularity ratings. He's still very popular, but Donald Trump is still at 33% of the US after having killed 6,600,000 people. And let's be clear, the data is very obvious. The Indian National Health Mission data is that the minimum COVID death rate is 2.5 times the official estimate. That's the Indian National Health Mission data from the central government aggregation. This is not being made up by some Firangi NGO that you can complain about or complain about some leftist group somewhere that you make up.
Punya, I will interject a little bit here. Punya, sorry to interrupt. Having said see, the point is, India is the second populated country in the world. If you look at the statistics, जो number of deaths हुई हैं, जो number of vaccinations drive चल रहा है, India is way ahead. Population की मार तो खा ही रहे हैं हिंदुस्तान. भाई चाइना की बात तो चाइना को भी हटा देते हैं. चाइना ने तो जो तिगड़म लगाई पूरे वर्ल्ड को बर्बाद करने के लिए, उसको थोड़ा साइड में रख देते हैं. अब हम नहीं जानते कि चाइना क्या कर रहा है. चाइना ने बायो वारफेयर किया या इंटेंट था. एक मिनट पुण्य, जस्ट बात सुनिए. चाइना की बात नहीं हो रही है, बात हिंदुस्तान की हो रही है. चलिए अमेरिका की हो रही है. हम लोग इंडियन अमेरिकन से अमेरिका में रहते हैं, यहाँ पे भी हमने फेस किया कोविड, ठीक है. बात हो रही है हिंदुस्तान की. पॉइंट ये है कि अगर डॉक्टर बराई बोल रहे हैं कि वैक्सीनेशन अच्छे नंबर में चल रही हैं और यूएस में वैक्सीन फ्री होने के बावजूद भी, अवेलेबल होने के बावजूद भी 63% लोगों ने ही लिए. पूरी वैक्सीनेशन नहीं ली लोगों ने यहाँ पर भी. तो कॉम्प्लेसेंसी लोगों में भी है, लोगों के बिहेवियर में है, और लोगों को भी रिस्पॉन्सिबल होना पड़ेगा। हर एक चीज तो सरकार नहीं करेगी, क्यों पुण्य?
So the question is, जब अच्छा होता है तो मैंने किया, मैं सरकार हूं, मैंने किया। जब बुरा होता है, अरे लोग खराब हैं, नहीं सच सोच रहे हैं। That logic doesn't apply. If you like, give जनता credit for good things also, or take responsibility. ये responsibility avoid करने की क्या बात है?
चलिए,
I agree, human beings have to change, but the change comes because the leader. अब आप कुंभ मेला करेंगे, जाकर के बंगाल में आप रैली करेंगे, and then you'll say, oh, people are being irresponsible. I mean, come on. ऐसी क्या बात है?
थैंक यू। ठीक है, मैं संदीप से भी पूछना चाहूंगी। संदीप, व्हाट डू यू हैव टू से कि कोविड का जो लॉस है इट कैन नॉट बी अनडन, और लोगों में बहुत रोष है, गुस्सा है, और कहीं ना कहीं वोटिंग बिहेवियर जो है ये इम्पैक्ट होगा, और डेफिनेटली ये लूजिंग पॉइंट्स रहेंगे बीजेपी के लिए, ऐसा सोचना है क्या आपका?
Yes, but before I jump into that thing, I would to give few, rebuttal to Dr. Baraya. So
Okay.
Baraya says February and January तक बहुत कम cases थे, but not to forget, the same Prime Minister who was like Punya ji said, many experts have suggested the threat of wave 2, right? This guy goes on to this international stage, World Economic Forum, and claims, "Hum COVID jeet gaye. We have taught world a lesson." These are the statements. He was literally mocking the entire world. And obviously, he has a lot of following, people listen to him. जब इतना charismatic leader world stage पे गया है, बताया है, COVID जीत गया है, and now he blames people. I don't know. I mean, where this comes. Like Punya ji said again, right? When it rains, it's my credit. When there is drought, it's your fault. So I will echo that thing. And coming back to the vaccination, right? So vaccination जो ये vaccination diplomacy का चला है, right? So he could not stop Serum Institute from making those contracts. And when he realized Serum Institute is anyways they have to honor the contract and export, he shamelessly goes and takes the credit. हम vaccine diplomacy कर रहे हैं। This is a contract between two private companies, right? I accept that India has to provide some vaccines, right? Coming back to the vaccine again. So what was the Bharat Biotech guy's statement? Made in India vaccine would be cheaper than a water bottle, right? Look at the price of Covaxin today. It is sold at 1410 rupees. The costliest vaccine in India right now. Made in India Atmanirbhar product जो है सबसे सस्ता होना चाहिए. But that is the priciest. Coming back to the data, right? Data which Dr. Bariaji was referring to, right? The deaths. So I'll tell
Dr.
you how
Barai,
allergic.
to be more precise, his name is Dr. Bharat Barai.
Sorry, Dr. Bharat Barai ji. So I'll tell you how allergic this government is towards the data. We don't have a proper statistician head today. And I'll tell you, our country is running without an audit today. Our CAG reports are down by 65%. They don't have scientific temperament. They don't have belief in data. So do we expect this government to report data, genuine data? Look at the deaths. Number of people claiming the life insurance during this period. Take the average of past 3 years. You will get the deaths. You might just conveniently say, oh, no, these are not the regular deaths. But if the average is over the normal average, that means these people are dying for a reason. And just to remind you, COVID death is considered as a death. When that patient is admitted to the hospital, tested positive, and he dies, that is when it is considered. There is entire rural India who doesn't know what COVID is. His own constituency, Varanasi mein, a village was dying. So coming back to the voting pattern, demonetization से everyone thought, चलो इरादा अच्छा था, implementation गलती हो गई. Okay, GST से चलो कुछ तो अच्छा हो रहा है, सब tax भर रहे हैं. But this has affected personally. People have lost their loved ones, people who they know, people who they used to see, right? This has touched them personally, and I'm pretty sure this will take a toll on their voting pattern.
Okay, Sandeep, thank you. Dr. Barai, मैं आपको चांस दूंगी rebuttal देने के लिए. If you want to speak, please, I'll give you 2 minutes.
Yes, I do. I'm sorry that this forum should not have been for playing politics about demonetization and GST, because I'm not here to try to play a BJP or Congress or communist politics. Let us talk to the topic that is at hand. Number one, somebody talked about Bengal and there were crowds. Yes, there were crowds. If Modi ji would not have held the elections, they are already going for every little thing to the United Nations, and they have said, he's a dictator, he's not allowing elections to take place. So he had to take care of the elections. Yes, it's true that there has been higher incidence of COVID, but look at it. There was no election in Delhi. Delhi had the highest incidence. There was no election in Maharashtra. Maharashtra had very high cases. Karnataka had no election. So even those states, Punjab, where there was no election, there COVID has spread. So to try to say that, in Bengal there was a rally, and that's why there is higher COVID, actually Bengal has a lower incidence than Maharashtra, Karnataka, or Kerala. About the disease spread. In month of February, March, there were 16 to 17,000 cases on an average. Suddenly, in later part of April and May, the number goes to 410,000 per day. Now, how can any country predict that there will be mutation of the virus and suddenly a Delta virus variant will come, which will be a lot more infectious? Did any scientist anywhere in the world predict that there will be a mutation? It will be so much of infectious? Don't tell me that I'm a doctor and I treat this patient, so I know, just to try to tell politics, scientists tell that. No scientist ever predicted Delta variant. No scientist ever predicted that it will go from 17,000 to 410,000. And there is no country in the world, even USA, which could accommodate suddenly number going 40 times. There were dead bodies in New York. There were ambulances that could not transport the people. There were people laying in the hospitals in the lobbies. The hospitals were closed to perform any kind of elective admissions. That's what happened in my hospital too. There is no country which can suddenly come up with 100 times more oxygen requirement. India did increase the production of remdesivir several-fold within a matter of several weeks. And we are producing more vaccine today than we were producing at that time. So I think whatever is humanly possible for a country like India with limited resources, the government did it. And even in USA, they have not been able to do many things like provide the beds that were necessary because simply there was too many patients than what the hospital could handle.
Dr. Barai,
Now,
Dr.
about the
Barai,
cost of
I'll interrupt a little bit here. From the idealist perspective, whatever you said, कि इंडिया ने ऑक्सीजन और रेमडेसिविर और सब चीज़ों का अरेंजमेंट किया, it all was arranged, right? I am very sorry to say, the ground reality in India, what has happened is a remdesivir injection has sold for more than 80,000 rupees. An injection which could be barely few thousand rupees has been sold for 80,000 to 1.5 lakh rupees. Oxygen cylinders have been sold anything between 20,000 to 25,000 rupees in black. ये गंदी हरकत हिंदुस्तान में चली, जिसके पास पैसा था, जो अमीर था, वो बच गया और समझ में आया कि जिंदगी हिंदुस्तान में सस्ती है और अगर आपके पास पैसा है तो आप जिंदा रहेंगे, वरना कोविड के टाइम पे आप मारे जाएंगे और आपको अस्थि विसर्जन तो छोड़िए, आपको डेड बॉडी जलाने के लिए भी अपॉर्चुनिटी नहीं मिलेगी. So Dr. Barai, when you speak about all these things, let's speak about the people of India and the corruption and everything that has happened during the Prime Minister Modi's regime. How do you counter that?
Josna, any kind of black marketing, taking advantage of this situation is bad and those people should be held accountable. And yes, I know of such cases. But you tell me whether it is Modi ji or anybody at the Prime Minister level, how can he control the behavior of 1.4 billion people? I mean, majority of the patients, whatever was the production, received it. I can tell you in Ahmedabad, my brother-in-law is the superintendent of one of the large hospitals. And I asked him that question, and he said that every patient who is admitted at Sal Hospital has received remdesivir. There was no problem. But it's also true that not every patient could get admitted. And yes, some people sold fake vaccine, Some people sold fake remdesivir. So these are the bad behavior of individual people. And anything that goes wrong, if your toilet does not flush or garbage is not picked up, it is all fault of Modi. This is ridiculous. People have to be realistic that what else any reasonable person in this situation could have delivered, not just try to say idealistically what should have happened. And if ideal things don't happen, of course, it is all fault of Modi. And then Rahul Gandhi goes on the Twitter and this goes on the Twitter. They are all Twitter tyrants.
All right. Dr. Barai, Punya wants to say something. Punya, I'll give you this chance though. Yes.
Thank you, Jyotsna. I think this is very disingenuous. The government was given specific instructions on preparing for the third wave. People were doing specific math. Now, Bharat Bhai, you're playing games with Delta variant ko predict kiya ki nahi. I have doctors all through my family. We study medical journals. Everybody was saying India is going to get a second wave. That is going to be massive. There was no question of Indian government officials were saying it, and the Indian government did not act on it. ये आइडियलिज्म की बात नहीं है, इनकॉम्पिटेंस की बात है.
पुण्य एक बात बताओ, वैसे पुण्य वैसे इनकॉम्पिटेंस की बात आप कर रहे हो. एक मिनट पुण्य, आप इनकॉम्पिटेंस की बात तो कर रहे हो, लेकिन मुझे एक सवाल है. अगर मान लीजिए बीजेपी की सरकार नहीं होती, कौन सी ऐसी सरकार होती जो ये अननोन वायरस को हैंडल कर पाती? फिर जनरली मैं जानना चाहूंगी.
So I will say that at this point, the Congress does not give me any hope. And in fact, the reason why the BJP might win a third term is because of the incompetence of the Congress. Their fixation on personality politics, their unwillingness to deal with reality, and their inability to have a strategic perspective on how to actually win elections in India is a gift to the BJP, right? I mean, the only people who really care about Rahul Gandhi is the BJP because they can make fun of him. Most of the Congressians don't care about him, and none of the other regional parties care about him. The BJP spends more time talking about Rahul Gandhi than anyone else does because he's a gift for them.
Okay.
So
Sandeep,
I have a rebuttal. Sorry.
Absolutely, Sandeep. मैं आप ही के पास आने वाली थी.
So those are the interesting comments, right? I'm sorry. Punya ji has to fall for the propaganda of BJP. It's not his problem. Everyone has fell for the propaganda, right? So you asked which government would have handled it better, right?
Right.
So Congress government is known to handle running vaccination drives before. They have run vaccination successfully. I'll give you an example of polio drive. So there was vaccine hesitancy, and we're talking about oral inoculation or oral vaccine, right? So we are talking about infants. They were able to create awareness. Remember the Amitabh Bachchan ads and everything? Do you see them now? No. So we have days where 200 odd million infants are vaccinated on single day. So we were able to eradicate polio entirely. And we should be happy that Modi ji does not have polio today because of the Congress government. And coming back to Rahul Gandhi, yes, everyone, if you see from day one of the pandemic, Rahul Gandhi has been alerting the government day in, day out. Not Aam Aadmi Party, not MIM, or not any other party. He was ridiculed as usual, but he turned out to be the prophet, right, who predicted everything right. Right? Yes, Modi government is very afraid of Rahul Gandhi. They have to snoop his phones, including his own ministers, RSS. So they are so afraid they have to snoop. So they think he's not incompetent, and they say, okay, he's the face of the Congress party. They are afraid of him. So they have to decide, which way it is. Is he incompetent or is he strong? So they have to decide on that thing. So coming back to the vaccination, what would Modi government, have you ever seen any ad of bringing awareness other than the stupid ringtone? So when you look at the elections, right, BJP does this IVR calls. They have an existing infrastructure, voter mapping. All they have to do is call those numbers and say, हाँ भाई वैक्सीनेशन शॉर्टेज है अभी, जब आपका नंबर आएगा हम ही शेड्यूल करके बोल देंगे कृपया बाहर मत निकलिए. But did they do that thing? Zero cost to the government. They have existing infrastructure. उससे आप उन्हीं का पार्टी का माइलेज बढ़ता था. But they know they have messed up on the vaccine.
चलिए, thank you,
Sandeep. There is vaccine shortage. One point. I'll tell you. So I'll tell you, अगर सक्सेस है तो मेरे क्रेडिट में, गलती हुई तो आपकी क्रेडिट में. I'll tell you. Real example. So when he shifted the responsibility to the states, right, he knows there was a vaccine shortage and these vaccine companies are not going to negotiate retail. They'll negotiate wholesale, right? He knows vaccine shortage है, states को responsibility दे रहा है, and what is the call he gave? He gives 18 से 45 year के लोग जाओ जाके vaccination लगा लो. Does any prime minister that thing because he has information forehand saying that there is no vaccines available and he calls entire nation to go get vaccinated? Is it just to blame the state governments? Wow. And Dr. Baraji says like no politics, but he talks politics. That's,
Okay.
I don't understand that. Thing.
Okay, thank you, Sandeep. Actually, viewers, we'll have to go for another break. Just don't go anywhere. We'll be back soon. Welcome back, viewers. We're talking about the Modi cabinet expansion and, of course, the political maths behind it. बात हो रही है, मेरे पैनलिस्ट मेरे साथ हैं. मेरा अगला सवाल ये है कि करंट कैबिनेट एक्सपेंशन जो है, देयर आर मोर यंग फेसेस एज वेल एज एजुकेटेड फेसेस, और कहीं ना कहीं गवर्नमेंट ने ये माना कि यूथ को भी एम्पावर करना ज़रूरी है, और ये जो नई सोच है, क्या ये बेनिफिट देगी अगले इलेक्शन में बीजेपी को? सबसे पहले पुण्य आप जवाब दीजिए और उसके बाद मैं डॉक्टर बराई के पास जाऊंगी.
Thank you, Josna. So, like I said, there are some good things in the cabinet expansion. And one of them is this focus on greater diversity of people, even though you still have the normal criminal and rich people group. India is a very young country, and I think it'll help them to do this. But the question is, will these people be allowed to perform? At this point, there are only two people, frankly, in the BJP who make all the decisions. Mr. Modi on questions of policy and grandstanding internationally, and Mota Bhai, Amit Shah, on questions of repression, violence, the Minister of Cooperation. His previous Minister of State for Home, who was relatively young, has done almost nothing in the time he's been there. He has two new Ministers of State, and that'll be a good example to see if something actually gets done. So I wish that India would look forward to the future. We have had massive failures in the past, and the BJP seems intent on explaining away why it's not a failure, rather than getting ready for the possible third wave. I have lost friends and family. All of us have. And I think it's important for us to hope that this youthful energy and these young people will come in and frankly make sure that this next year, fewer people die than have died so far.
All right.
And then that should hopefully help the BJP with its elections.
Thank you, Punya. Actually,
But
time की
save
बहुत
lives.
कमी है. We are running short of time. मुझे एक और सवाल पूछना है. So let's move on to Dr. Barai right now, and let's be quick in answering because और भी questions हैं जो मैं पूछना चाहूँगी before we close the show. Dr. Barai, what is your take?
Okay, let me explain to you this question about the vaccine. Everybody thinks that vaccine is something you can just prepare and keep on printing. It requires very sophisticated process. It requires a lot of sophisticated ingredients. Many of them were coming from USA, and President Trump had invoked the Defense Production Act. So many of these ingredients were embargoed from going to India or any other country. And I was one of the person who, along with Jesse Jackson and many others, had gone to Washington and talked to several congressmen and senators to try to lift this embargo on ingredients which were needed to increase production of vaccine in India. So to say that, oh, there is a vaccine shortage. Yes, there is a vaccine shortage because you can only make so much of vaccine because you have so much of ingredient.
Okay, Dr.
India
Barai,
is
understood.
more vaccine than any other country in the world,
Dr.
including
Barai.
USA.
We understood that.
I have a quick rebuttal on that statement.
They say, print 10 million vaccine, print 10 crore vaccine. It doesn't work that way.
Got it. Dr.
So I have a
Barai,
quick
we
rebuttal
understood
on
the
the
point.
raw material
Sandeep,
thing.
quick rebuttal, please, because we have to
Yes.
get the answer back from
Yes.
Dr. Barai about the main
So
question.
yes, US restricted raw material, but not on the existing vaccines which were produced. It was for Novavax, which was produced by the Serum Institute. There were restrictions on that raw material, not on the AstraZeneca and the Bharat Biotech one.
I'm sorry, you are wrong there. I know exactly. I went to Congress. You are wrong there.
So I
can
also want to
tweet
say
it too. I
that
can tweet the details.
many of us pushed for the vaccine elements. Hindus for Human Rights also lobbied extensively to go make this happen. It is common sense around this, and I've worked with Moderna, I've worked with other biotech companies, Gilead and others. We understand that it's a complex process. Again, the fact that it's complex means decisions should have been made and incompetent decisions have led to deaths.
Okay. Let's
Let us
cut it
pivot
here.
to the future.
Punya, our focus is more on the question that I asked Dr. Barai about it. It was about the youth being there in the cabinet, the new youth, the new lease of
I
energy.
think it is good that opportunity is given to various sections of the community, and those youth members who are part of the cabinet, they will certainly be able to give a different message and maybe give more leadership. I agree that, India is a young country. We have a lot of people below the age of 45 and giving them opportunity. But one thing people have to realize that to become cabinet ministers or minister of state or deputy ministers, you have to be member of either Rajya Sabha or Lok Sabha or get elected within 6 months. So saying, oh, all these people, you can only choose out of those 800 people that are sitting in Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha or who will get elected within 6 months.
Perfect. Thank you. Sandeep, what do you have to say? Quick answer. और ये ध्यान में रखिएगा कि राहुल गांधी जी भी एक यूथ हैं.
Yes. I mean, unfortunately, this youth is led by a 71-year-old prime minister, not a 51 or 52-year-old prime minister. So that's one thing. And no offense to any veterans, but I hope our youth doesn't learn the Nara Goli Maro. That is what I have to say. Because that person is heading Information and Broadcasting Ministry today and Sports Ministry. Wow. I don't want my country to learn Goli Maro Nara. That is all I have to say.
Okay. मेरा लास्ट क्वेश्चन है उस ब्रूटल हकीकत के बारे में जो हिंदुस्तान में देखी गई. भारतीय जनता पार्टी कहीं ना कहीं हिंदुइज़्म की लहर जो है, बीजेपी में काफ़ी ऐसे एलिमेंट्स हैं, ऐसे लोग हैं जो ऑफ कोर्स हिंदूवादी हैं, और भारत में हिंदुइज़्म जो है ऑफ कोर्स हिंदुस्तान है तो हिंदुइज़्म की लहर काफ़ी चली. मोदी जी के इस टाइम में मंदिर भी बना, सब कुछ हुआ. लेकिन सवाल ये था कि यूपी जैसे प्रदेश में जहाँ योगी आदित्यनाथ जी हैं, नदियों के किनारे, गंगा के किनारे हज़ारों लाशें बिछी रहीं, आधी दफनी हुई थी, आधी दफनाई हुई वो लाशें थीं जो आधी रेत में थीं और आधी रेत के बाहर थीं. वो नज़ारा अभी भी आंखों से हटता नहीं है और हज़ारों लाशें, न जाने कितनी लाशें गंगा जी में भी बहा दी गईं. हिंदुइज़्म की जहाँ तक एक गुहार लगाई जाती है बीजेपी के द्वारा, क्या तब लोग भूल गए कि इन लाशों को क्रीमेट करना है, जलाना है, आधा दफनाया हुआ नहीं छोड़ना? ना तो पूरी दफनाई गई, ना जलाई गई. और ये चीज़ ज़िंदगी में बहुत सारे लोगों को खटकेगी जिनके प्रियजन चले गए, और ये बीजेपी के काल में हुआ. बीजेपी जो हिंदुइज़्म का नारे को मजबूत बताती है, वो हिंदूवादी सोच तब कहाँ चली गई जब वो लोग, बेचारे लोग जो मारे गए, उनको क्या कहते हैं, प्रॉपर तरीके से इस लोक से, इस पृथ्वी लोक से विदा भी नहीं किया जा सका. डॉक्टर बराई, बहुत ही सख्त क्वेश्चन है, आप क्या बोलना चाहेंगे? ये बीजेपी की बहुत बड़ी गलती थी, लोगों को क्रिमेशन तक नहीं मिली, लोगों को लकड़ियां नहीं मिली, कुछ नहीं मिला, अपने प्रियजनों को, लोगों को फेंकना पड़ा नदियों में या ऐसे ही छोड़ देना पड़ा.
What happened was very unfortunate and tragic that suddenly there was a massive increase in the number of deaths. When the cases went to 410,000 per day, even if you count 2% of those people died, yes, there were a lot of people who died, and there was cremation grounds where people were cremated en masse. But out of this kind of tragedies, one can ask what should be done in future, but not try to play the politics. This has nothing to do with Hinduism. It is just a human tragedy, and no matter who is there, we should all try to say, how do we do things better in future if such mass casualties
क्या आपको लगता नहीं है डॉक्टर बराई, इट वाज अ मेजर मिस्टेक ऑफ द गवर्नमेंट कि आप क्रिमेशन भी नहीं हैंडल कर पाए? कहीं ना कहीं रिसोर्सेज,
when there are so many increased number of deaths, people take their bodies, they throw it in Ganga. Where does Yogi Adityanath or anybody go, or where does Narendra Modi go and say, hey, don't do that? This is the human behavior. The local leadership should have taken care of it. And yes, they should all have been given the proper cremation or whatever ultimate right should have been given. But that all should have been level at the human level at the local bodies. Don't blame Modi that because people threw away the bodies in Ganga.
चलिए पुण्य, आपको क्या कहना है? थैंक यू डॉक्टर बराई.
I am slightly lost for words at this claim. I am so sad. I am so sad that this happens in our India. हमारी गंगा मैया के पर ऐसे कर रहे हैं लोग. And then people talk about it like this. This is not even not my responsibility. किसी और को blame करो. This, I'm afraid, is the difference between Hinduism and Hindutva. No Hindu would say कि हाँ ठीक है, मर गए, जाने दो, क्या फर्क पड़ता है. दिल कहाँ है? Hinduism is about heart. It's about पूर्णता. It's about abundance. ये सब sliding around trying to make excuses. I mean, कर्म करो, फल की अपेक्षा मत करो. यहाँ पे तो सिर्फ फल ही फल है. कर्म कौन कर रहा है? This is really sad.
Thank you. Sandeep.
Yeah. I would just say 2 minutes of silence for the words which Dr. Baraya spoke. I would just say that thing. And whenever it comes to blaming of Modi, right? Politics mat karo bolte hain na. Politics में है वो. So we have to do politics. And अगर politics नहीं करना है ना, जोला लेके फकीरी करो, छोड़ दो. Because without him, country would prosper. That is what I have to say.
चलिए मैं लास्ट आप सभी से क्लोजर चाहूँगी. आपकी थॉट प्रोसेस क्या है आपका? थोड़ा सा टाइम 30 सेकंड्स ईच सवाल ये है, ना मोदी, ना गांधी, ना AIMIM, ना ममता दीदी, अगर कोई भी प्राइम मिनिस्टर बनने लायक नहीं है तो फिर प्राइम मिनिस्टर बनने लायक कौन है? कौन है वो जो इस देश को आगे ले जाएगा? कौन है वो जो अपने देशभक्ति के जुनून को आगे बढ़ाएगा? कौन निकलेगा? कौन होगा वो जो इस देश की गरिमा को पूरे विश्व में चमकाएगा? देखा जाए तो प्राइम मिनिस्टर नरेंद्र मोदी ने बहुत कुछ अच्छा भी किया है, देश का नाम भी हुआ. पिछले 2 टर्म से अगर वो हैं अपनी प्राइम मिनिस्टरशिप में तो कुछ तो बेटरमेंट हुई है जिसे हम नकार नहीं सकते. जहाँ तक देशभक्ति की बात है, देश की सुरक्षा की बात है, वहाँ भी गरिमा बढ़ रही है. ऐसे में आपके पास ऑल्टरनेट क्या हैं? अब आप बोलिए संदीप, फिर प्रसून, पुण्य, और फिर मैं डॉक्टर बराई से कंक्लूजन लूंगी.
I don't know, देश के लिए कुछ अच्छा हुआ है. I don't know which data points you are referring to, but I'll tell you, इंडिया का नाम तो definitely नीचे गया हुआ है. I'll start with the press freedom index नीचे गया है, democracy index नीचे गया है, health index नीचे गया है. So everything, if you see, it's going down and down. And if you see, rupee का value भी नीचे गया है.
चलिए,
So I
thank
don't
you.
know which.
Sandeep,
So
conclude it
that is-
fast.
I'll just conclude. Yeah, I'll
Fine.
just conclude.
Yes.
So concluding it to the cabinet expansion. So 2014 का नारा था minimum government, maximum governance, right? So this is maximum government, no governance, and full on politics. That is what I have to say.
Thank you. Punya, 30 quick seconds.
So recently, Father Stansformy died. He was killed by the Indian judicial establishment. And I will hope that one of his people that he was helping, an Adivasi from the rural parts of India, maybe a man, maybe a woman, that they will find the inspiration from the land, from our dharma, and make India great.
Thank you. Dr. Barai.
That's my hope.
In democracy, it is the people that elect their representatives, and the representatives elect their leader, whether it's a chief minister or a prime minister. The electorate of India has spoken very decisively in 2014 and 2019. They have given leadership to a person with a very humble background, a person who is totally non-corrupt,
Okay.
who is dedicated
Thank
for
you.
the benefit of people of India, and he will do the very best that
Thank
can
you.
be done for the people of India.
Thank you so much, Dr. Barai. Thank you to all my panelists. Nice inputs. Yes, viewers, this was the debate tonight. आगे क्या होगा? रिजल्ट तो इलेक्शन ही बताएंगे. सोच नई है, विचार नए हैं. 36 मिनिस्टर्स के साथ देखते हैं क्या होता है, नए एक्सपेंशन के साथ क्या रिजल्ट निकलता है. आप करेंगे डिसाइड, लेकिन हम अभी जाते हैं, आपसे लेते हैं विदा. अगले हफ्ते फिर मिलेंगे. थैंक यू सो मच. स्टे ब्लेस्ड. थैंक यू.
Thank you.
Thank you.